crowds stood outside the open windows of the old churchyard, listening. The work of the convention was intense. Jefferson's range of tasks was wide. Virginia's revolutionary leaders had to make decisions about military preparations, taxes, trade, formulating policy in the expectation of war, while British officials in the colony were themselves taking a stronger stand against Jefferson and his colonies. John Murray, 4th Earl of Dunmore, the tough-minded Scottish-born royal governor who had succeeded Beaujeu, had forbidden Virginians to import arms and powder from Britain. London had also ordered the seizure of any munitions that arrived in America, stipulating that the royal representatives were to prevent elections to the Second Continental Congress. Neither side showed any inclination to back down. At St. John's, Jefferson threw himself into whatever came his way. He was hard-headed, not theoretical. He believed the hour called for action, not rhetoric. On March 23, 1775, a springtime Thursday warm enough for the windows of the church to be left open, Patrick Henry called on Virginia to move its militia into a posture of defense. Standing in pew 47 in the eastern aisle of the nave of the church, Henry spoke brilliantly. "Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace," Henry said. "The war is actually begun." In a transporting climax, Henry cried, "I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death." To Jefferson,